I want to deal with another issue, and it's a part of the country I love, but it's had some troubles lately. You will have been aware last year that Ruapehu, I should say it properly, Alpine Lifts, the company that ran a number of ski concerns on Mount Ruapehu, went into, was it voluntary receivership liquidation? Basically, it wasn't making money. And the government became, also I'd note that in that area, the Chateau has closed or been closed down by its foreign owners and essentially mothballed. And the government got involved in plans to try and resuscitate skiing on Mount Ruapehu, given the massive impact it has on tourism in the area, the role it plays there. And I think the genuine desire by many New Zealanders to not let it, if you like, fall into disrepair and not be able to go skiing there. But it has been fraught and difficult, and there have been a few developments in the last couple of weeks. The person we've talked to about this, someone who is keenly involved and I think concerned about what's going on, is the Ruapehu Mayor, Weston Kirton, who joins us on the line now. Weston, Happy New Year to you. Thank you for joining us again.
Thanks very much, and Happy New Year to you as well, and a beautiful day here in the Central North Island.
It often is, mate. All right, where are we at with RAL? What is the status of play right now? We had the government bailout last year. They said they'd underwrite things for a while. Has anything moved on from there?
I think so. You'd have to agree that the government have put enough money in, or the previous government have put money in there to prop it up so that they get into a position, Sean, of actually getting each side of the mountain sorted out long term. And of course, progress was made on the southern part of the mountain, Pure Tuarau, with the bidders, preferred bidders, and they're well underway to get their bid underway and also get ready for this next season. Not so straightforward on the northern part of the mountain, of course, the Whakapapa side, and that has taken some time. And the bidders, of course, were negotiating with the receivers and the liquidators and trying to get that over the line as it was supposed to happen. But unfortunately, the bidders have pulled out, and that makes it that much harder to get it over the line. And we just fear for the next season as to how we actually all this is unfolding.
So look, as this story evolves, we are now talking about two separate operations. They have been separated, and let's call it the southern and the northern, the Tuarau and environs and the Whakapapa and environs. So we're now talking about the future commercial sustainability of two separate operations.
Yes, traditionally, Sean, that was the case with it as well. Of course, being a voluntary organisation that set up originally on each side of the mountains, and of course they merged those years gone by. Long history there, but so what we've got here now is an opportunity for each side of the mountain to be represented by different entities, of course working together in one sort of separate, one mountain. Of course, I think it needs to be understood that we have separate iwi and different sides of the mountain that have sort of mana over the mountain. And they certainly have the impact as to how all this unfolds. And you've got the government, of course, helping each side.
Is Māori stewardship of the mountain problematic in getting what would otherwise be a clean and straightforward commercial deal?
It depends on how you look at that. They claim, of course, that they need to be in the mix in any negotiations for obvious reasons. And
are they in the mix with these negotiations?
Absolutely, you'd have to agree that they have sovereignty, I guess, over the mountain in terms of acknowledgement of the cultural needs and rights for each side of the mountain, and that's just the way it is in this part of the world anyway. So Ngāti Tūwharetoa, who are the ones that gifted the mountain in the first instance. We've got Ngāti Rangi and Nuku on the other side, who claim that territory, and it's quite important to them that they retain that.
And do they want a slice of the action off whoever are the successful bidders?
In most cases, they want to have a say as to how the mountain operates, how culturally it works in with their aspirations. I can't comment on that, only to say that the concession side of it, that's iwi have some say as to how long it should go for. The concessions are the big sticking point here, I must add, because the bidders claim that the 10-year concession was not long enough, and 5 years review made it even worse. So anyone that's taking on debt or taking a long-term plan on this actually knows, everyone knows this, in any business case you need to have security in terms of length of time. In this case, taking on debts of something like $40-odd million, you need that sort of time frame or big lead into actually making something of this. So that's the problem in each case. But both the mountain and the chateau is going to be around how iwi concessions for long-term planning.
And of course, they expect to be paid for being consulted about their mana and sovereignty, right?
I can't comment on that. I'm not directly involved in that, Sean. I safely say that they need to be involved.
And it costs money for them to be involved?
Absolutely. It's obviously is an issue there with, how they actually are compensated, I guess, for, the efforts that they put into it.
Is there a commitment from the government for the next season to put any money in, or is it now a case it's got to be done, it's do or die?
We've got to start again with the new government. The aim was to get to March with the previous government put into this. So we're all there, and now we've got to start this relationship with each of the ministers that are associated with this. They initially said that they are not keen on putting money into this. It was from the Prime Minister during election campaigning. That is of concern to us, of course, because we're all but there, and obviously, we've got to work through these issues.